My family moved from Germany in the early 1900s. It was my great-great-grandpa on my mom's side. There was him and his wife Mary Zeke. My great-grandfather's name was the Great David. They came over to Canada because they were starving in Germany because their crops were not growing at all. They were promised food, land, and a new chance at life over here in Canada. When they came over to Canada, they homesteaded near Spring Valley. When they settled there, they had my great grandpa, my great aunt, my other great aunt, and my great uncle. They didn't consider any other country because there was opportunity in Canada. There was a place where they could farm, grow crops, and feed their family. Some challenges they faced were trying to find a spot where they could homestead that was good, fertile land to grow their crops. Other challenges they faced were getting over to west of Canada with very little supplies and money. They also had to try and build a house before winter came, or they wouldn't do very well surviving in the cold and snow. They overcome these challenges by pushing through and making do with what little supplies and money they had. They built a house out of materials that would work for winter, just enough so that they could get by for the winter and build a stronger house in the summer. Some historical moments that affected them were the wars going on just after they came to Canada. Even though none of them fought, but they were left working without help of their neighbors. Back then, neighbors helped neighbors out a lot. Another one that's not historical, but it affected them greatly, was when my great-great-grandmother passed away, and all that was left to take care of the children was my great-great-grandfather. And then, after a while, the kids started to move away, and my great-grandpa moved to a farm just west of Perry, Saskatchewan. He met my great-grandmother at a dance one night, and they married, and they had 4 kids. They had my grandpa, my aunt, my great aunt, they had my great uncle, and another great aunt. And then from there, my grandpa had my uncle, my mom, and my aunt. Then my mom met my dad, and now here's me. Anyways, some laws that were created when my great great grandfather came over was that you could only be male to work and vote. Some immigration policies that have changed over time, where you could only be certain races to come over, and if you were that certain race when there was a war, they put you in camps because they could be the enemy. I mean, with today's securities, people can't get away with anything because you go through so many screens and tests, background checks. Like, you literally can't sneak anything into the country or out. All the lives of Canadians have changed over time with the laws, technology advances, and everything. Houses, jobs. And as time went on, our lives have changed for the better. People now have easy access to medicine, jobs, transportation, housing. Some economic differences. In the early 1900s, there was a Great Depression, which led to many people homeless, starving, disease infested, and lots ended up dead. Over the years, there have been points where it looked like this was going to happen again, but luckily the government was able to fix the problems, and now we are here today.